This is a deeper listen from KEXP, the show where we talk with musicians about the thoughts and experiences that shape their music. I'm Emily Fox. And today, I'm bringing you a conversation with one of the Lijadu Sisters, recorded back in November. The Lijadu Sisters created music in a time and place where it was radical for women to speak up. Now, after 55 years, the Lijadu Sisters are finally getting recognition and royalties for their work. So the Lijadu Sisters are twin musicians from Nigeria. They were one of the only women-led acts making music following Nigeria's independence from Britain. Nigerian independence happened in 1960. Then from 1967 until 1970, Nigeria experienced a civil war. It was during this period that the Lijadu Sisters recorded their first song. Many of Lijadu Sisters' songs address issues they saw around them. Here's the surviving sister, Yeye Taiwo Lijadu.
We sing about love. We sing about people being sick because of lack of food, lack of adequate care. Government wasn't taking care of the people. People were getting very rich through government, and we sang about those things. We sang about children being truants, living on the streets because there wasn't much at home to look forward to.
What you gonna do when they ask you what you done with your office of power, brother? Or what you done, sister?
Lijadu Sisters' music has been highly influential to many artists of today, including underground rapper Mike, the Ghanaian American pop and R&B artist Amare. Nas has sampled their music without permissions.
I made a safe for gangsters to marry. Life.
So has Ira Starr, who was one of the nominees the first year the Grammys had a category for Best African Music Performance. Hayley Williams of Paramore cites Lijadu Sisters as an inspiration on her debut solo album. But despite all this influence, Taiwo Lijadu says she's never seen a profit from Lijadu Sisters' 7 albums they recorded between 1969 and 1997. That's even though their first few records were released on a major label, Decca Records. And that's all about to change. The archival record label Numero Group is about to reissue all of the Lijadu Sisters' discography, as well as a collection of rediscovered, previously unavailable singles, promo EPs, and rare recordings. I caught up with Taiwo Lijadu, who joined from New York City, where she lives today, to learn more about the Lijadu Sisters and why this reissue campaign means so much to her today. I understand that you were second cousins with Afrobeat pioneer Fela Kuti, and Kuti was criticized the Nigerian government in his music, and he was arrested many times. He had his home raided. He'd also been beaten by soldiers, and would have his instruments, destroyed and recordings destroyed. And I understand that you also faced some pushback from the governments for some of the themes in your music. Can you talk about that at all?
Yeah, that came through doing television programs. I guess that our songs were too powerful for them when we would go to the television stations to perform. And also when you would be given a program of 15 to maybe 10 seasons, and then you didn't get paid. You did not get paid, and it was so very difficult. You kept going in and out, and they were saying they were out of blue pens, they were out of green pens to sign, all kinds of rubbish. But I guess primarily because we were talking about government, and television stations then became government properties taken away from the Western region who owned it. And so they would not let us have our money. They would not even let us have our master recordings. Things were happening, not only to the Lijadu Sisters, things were happening to Nigerian musicians, period. We were having a bad time, a rough time. But don't forget, we all came out because of the love we have for music, and so would just take things the way they came. But we particularly suffered because being the only female artists who were very, very outspoken, we met with very, very wicked, wicked people who wouldn't give us the chance to grow, you know.
And I think I read somewhere too that you were performing at a festival in the late 70s and were accosted by soldiers while you were pregnant. Did that happen?
Oh yes, at the Festac village. I was very, very pregnant, very visibly pregnant, and the soldiers accosted us and said, they asked us where we were going, and we asked them, what's your business where we were going? It's afternoon. We can go anywhere we wanted to. And he put the butt of the gun on my stomach. Bah!
And like hit you with
sister,
it. Oh.
He hit me with it. My twin sister headbutted him.
Good for her.
And I told him to face her. She's pregnant. If this was your mother, your sister, your wife, would you do that? He was about to hit my sister when other soldiers hit him and beat him to the ground. They nearly killed him. We had to beg for him. You know, things like that happened.
And why do you think they did what they did that day?
I don't know. You see, when law is not being kept properly, things like that happen here too in the US. Police beat you for no reason, accost you for no reason, stop you for no reason, question you for no reason, delay and detain you for no. It happens everywhere in the world. But in Nigeria, it happens too much, too many times. Lawlessness.
Get out, fight, trouble in the streets. Watch out, right, Jambai on the way. Get out, fight, trouble in the streets. Watch out, right, Jambai out to stay.
You know, as you mentioned, like, you were the only women-led group at the time in Nigeria. I mean, Nigeria was especially dominated by male artists. And I'm curious, like, how would you describe what it was like for you and your sister to make music and navigate the music industry compared to what your understanding was of how men were navigating the industry? Do you think there was any difference there?
There was a difference because the men thought that we were in their territory. Men thought that women belonged in the kitchen and in the house and that sort of thing. And we just let them know we were doing our job. It's all over the world. Nigeria is no difference to any country where there is lawlessness, where there is no complete respect for women. Women don't earn as much as men do here. And they have the same degrees.
Yeah.
And they have the same degrees. It's the same thing at home. It's just that we came at a time when there were no women groups doing what we were doing. And we were very adamant. We stood our grounds.
What was that feeling like to be kind of the only women at the time and to stand your ground? What did that feel like for you?
It was something good. It was something to be proud of, and it's still something to be proud of. If you had stuff, if you have good stuff to tell people, stories to tell people, sing songs that tell of the lives of the people of the land. That's what they want to hear. A lot of people don't have voices to protest, to talk. We had the voices to talk for the people. And we talked. And we fought back. We fought back the press, because press would oppress you, say things about you in ways that they shouldn't do, twist stories, take instances and use it against you. Stand your grounds. Don't be afraid to be criticized. When you're criticized, a lot of people do it maliciously. Some people do it in good faith. Take both sides and run with it.
So all of your albums are being reissued by Numero Group right now in kind of waves. We had an EP just released last month, and I understand that you didn't have the best experience with labels and just copyright protections over your music for much of your career. So what does this reissue mean for you now?
Well, it means independence, total independence. It means that all our rights will come back to us, and we will begin to see compensation for what we were not paid for in the past. But the difference is that we own our rights. People will stop using our music and taking from us. We did not get anything from all our recordings at all.
Wait,
We
so
had the name.
any album that you put out, you never got any profits from that?
Profits? No.
Wow.
No. For the 56 years that we had recorded, we cannot record making money. We were not even promoted. We were not promoted. The albums were not properly marketed or promoted.
And then yet at the same time, like, people learned about you. Like, I hear that there's been 40 or 50 samples of your song where people have sampled you without the correct permissions. You know, your team has tried to, take down some of those songs because you, like, not only have you had an experience of not being paid, for the music that you've made and recorded, but then when you're sampled and not credited or not, compensated for that, they're starting to take some of those down. And so, yeah, I mean, how would you describe just like how labels and the industry had treated you, in most of your career?
Shammily, very shammily. And it's not just us alone. Not just us alone. A lot of artists have been exploited like this, are still being exploited all over the world like this. And it's a shame.
So I'm curious, like, what else do you want people to know about the Lijadu Sisters or just your lives?
Simple people. We're simple people. We were brought up with love from our mom and our family members. And so we are also fighters. We fight for people. We fight for people's rights. I am a political activist, and it's not just for the Nigerian people, for the world in totality. I'm the mother. I am your mother. I will not stand quiet while my children are being maltreated, I will speak out. I will shout, if possible, through music. I will shout through music. We did shout through music. And we did attend many rallies, political rallies throughout the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and up to this moment. I'm still doing that.
That was Yeye Taiwo Lijadu of the Lijadu Sisters. Their entire catalog is being reissued by Numero Group. The first release as part of that project is Lijadu Sisters' 1979 EP called Horizon Unlimited, which was re-released in September. And that was A Deeper Listen. This conversation with Lijadu Sisters first aired on a Deeper Listen sister radio show called Sound and Vision in November. Sound and Vision airs Saturdays from 7:30 to 9 a.m. Pacific at 90.3 FM in Seattle, 92.7 FM in the San Francisco Bay region, and streaming worldwide at KEXP.org. And before you go, please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, rate it, and review it. KEXP is a publicly funded station. We rely on listener support to do what we do. So you can spread the word about this show for free by subscribing to this podcast, rating it, reviewing it. Or you can also consider supporting the show financially by giving $6 a month at KEXP.org/deeper. And thanks for taking a deeper listen.